And welcome back to the Real Sports Repo and part two of the Week 6 wrap-up. I am Josh Sears with my partner, the great one, Dion Johnson. And the only reason I say the great one is because his last name is Johnson, and that name signifies greatness.
This is true.
So we just got done talking about the Palmer trade, so let's talk about the game or the team that Palmer left.
Mm-hmm.
The Cincinnati Bengals, as they defeated the Indianapolis Colts 27-17. For the Colts, Painter went 23 of 34, 188 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Brown had 5 rushes, 35 yards and a touchdown. Clark had 6 receptions, 53 yards and a touchdown. On the other side of the ball, Andy Dalton went 25 of 32, 264 yards and a touchdown. Said Ben had 16 rushes for 57 yards and a touchdown. Simpson had 6 receptions for 107 yards, and A.J. Green had 5 receptions, 51 yards, and a touchdown. Talk about the game.
Pretty simple. Andy Dalton plays great, continues to lead the Cincinnati Bengals into the future. A.J. Green is definitely their number one. He has taken over Ocho's spot. Ocho is not there anymore. He's over in New England. And looks like Simpson and Caldwell, all those guys over there are stepping their game up. Cedric Benson's doing good at running back, as long as he can keep his legal troubles under wraps and stay out of trouble. He's going to continue to be good. I think they should draft a running back next year, strictly based on the fact that I'm not going to believe in him as the future of their backfield. But Bengals are good on defense. Bengals are great on defense, good on offense. They're firing on all cylinders. Andy Dalton's proved that TCU can produce a great quarterback. On the other side of the ball, I'm going to have to say that the Colts look like they probably want to lose out the season. They're in that sweepstakes for Andrew Luck. He's he is that quarterback that is coveted so much over at Stanford. I'm going to say Curtis Painter locked down a definite backup job. Somebody will be comfortable knowing that that guy is their backup if their starter goes down. So if anything, even if he doesn't get a deal after this season, he will definitely be somebody's backup somewhere and possibly start. He possibly start in Miami because they'll take anybody because Matt Moore went and stunk up the place, but we'll get to that later. But I'm not saying the Colts defense is giving up or giving in because this wasn't a real big blowout, but I just don't see them winning very many games. 2-14, 3-13, that's probably as good as they're going to do.
Okay, so going from one team who gave away a big player to another team who received a big player after they got walloped, we'll get to that in a second. The Packers defeated the Rams 24-3. Packers moved to 6-0, Rams moved to 0-5. Help is on the way for the Rams, but for the current Rams, they had Sam Bradford go 28 of 44, 321 yards. Steven Jackson had 18 carries for 96 yards, and Alexander had 6 receptions, 91 yards. Aaron Rodgers continues to just like your little last name there, signify greatness. 17 of 28, 310 yards, 3 touchdowns. Starks had 13 carries, 49 yards, and Jordy Nelson 2 receptions, 104 yards, and a touchdown. Talk about the game, and we'll get into the big news right after.
Okay, for the Rams, this is not what I saw for you guys this season. Not with the way you guys played last season. I'm extremely disappointed that the Rams are 0-5. I expected these guys to be fighting for the NFC West title and fighting for a playoff spot. If anything, at least a wild card spot. Their season is just dismal. It's just on a downward spiral, and no matter what they do, it seems like they just can't get it right. On the other side of the ball, it's the Packers firing on all cylinders. They're all healthy, and if they were all healthy last year, this would have been the same outcome. I don't. I'm not. I'm going to say that the Packers could possibly just go 16-0. They could be the next team to be undefeated in the regular season with the way that they're playing and everybody healthy. It doesn't matter who they've got at running back. Ryan Grant came in and everybody thought he was back, and then he gets injured again. Then they don't know who's going, who's coming. But it doesn't matter because you have Aaron Rodgers. And if you got Aaron Rodgers, you're going to win. The guy's great. That's all I have to say about Aaron Rodgers. The guy's great. He's great, period. That you don't get any better. He's the best quarterback in the league. He's better than Tom Brady right now. He's better than Drew Brees. He's better than all these other guys. But my buddy here has a pressing issue that he wants to speak about, so I'm going to let him give me his question, and I'll give him my answer.
It's not a question. It's a statement, maybe in the form of a question. Word to the NFL, go after Aaron Rodgers, hurt him. Defenses.
Defenses, you can try to hurt Aaron Rodgers, but you can't.
He was hurt last year for 2 weeks.
That was 2 weeks. That was last year. This is this year. You don't hurt Aaron Rodgers. You hit Aaron Rodgers, and that's all you can do. You're not going to stop the Packers right now.
Well, good news for the St. Louis Rams. Help is on the way. In another surprising deadline trade, Brandon Lloyd leads a team that he led the league in receptions with last year to go to the 0-5 Rams for a 6th-round pick going back to Denver. First, I want to ask you about Brandon Lloyd. Then I want you to analyze the pick and why it's only a 6th-rounder. And then I want you to go ahead and tell me what you think your chances are with Brandon Lloyd with the Rams for the rest of the season.
Okay. Weird move for the Broncos, giving Brandon Lloyd up for only a 6th-round pick. With the possibility of the pick moving upwards, I believe, to at least the 5th, depending on his production while he's in St. Louis. The beauty of this for St. Louis is all they had to give up was a 5th-round pick, and they get the number 1 leading receiver last year in yardage. But for St. Louis, this helps them a lot. This gives Sam Bradford a real target to throw to because they don't have any number 1 receivers over there. They thought Mike Sims Walker was going to come in and be that guy, and I ain't heard nothing from Mike Sims Walker all season long. And it's driving me nuts. The guy came out and looked okay and looked like he was going to be big, and then he came out and he's just being an average receiver. So kudos to the GM over there at St. Louis for getting that done for next to nothing pretty much, guiding for dirt cheap, and looks like the Rams are going to have help. I can't even tell you why it was only a 6th-round pick with the possibility of it being a 5th-rounder, because I'm completely baffled that they would take that for somebody who was their number 1 receiver, and it sounds like they tried to throw Eddie Royal on the trading block, but nothing went through. But as far as what the Broncos are doing, even though they're on this bye week right now, I'm going to have to say it looks like they're just building around Tim Tebow. They're going to revamp their playbook. They're going to figure out everything. And, they're going to put the pieces of the puzzle together and build around him. They feel like this is their future now. Even though John Fox didn't draft him, it seems like they've seen something from him that gives them reason to believe that he can lead this team into the future and he can take them to the promised land, which is the top of the mountain, which is the Super Bowl, which the only guy that took them to the top of the mountain was John Elway. So Denver is going to build around Tim Tebow. They're hoping that he can get better and that he will continue to improve. The one thing you don't have to teach the guy is leadership. You don't have to teach the guy to have heart. You don't have to teach him to have the drive or the want or the need to be better and to be a great guy and to be a great quarterback and be a great leader. So he has all the normal intangibles. They just got to teach him football when it comes to being an actual NFL quarterback. So that's all they have to teach him, and they're building around him, and they'll most likely be able to give him the tools that he needs to succeed. They just got to get that O-line better and start picking up DBs, and things will get better over in Denver.
Where do the Rams finish?
The Rams look like they're going to finish dead last in the NFC West.
Record with Brandon Lloyd?
With Brandon Lloyd, they're going to go at least 4-12. I'm going to say that much.
4-12. All right. So now we're going to talk about a game that was a lot closer than the final score gives. The Falcons defeated the Panthers 31-17. This game was back and forth all the way through up until the final minutes of the 4th quarter. Cam Newton, 21-35, 237 yards, 3 picks. He also had 6 rushes for 50 yards and a touchdown. Smith had 5 receptions for 66 yards. And Stewart had 7 carries for 48 yards and a touchdown. On the other side of the ball, Matt Ryan, 14-22, 163 yards and a touchdown. And Michael DeVonatana, 27 rushes, 139 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Talk about the game.
Where's Tony Gonzalez? He's supposed to be like their guy at tight end, and I haven't seen him being used at all. So I'm wondering where Mr. Gonzalez is right now. He's probably the best tight end ever to play the game, and I haven't heard anything from him. And it's no disrespect to you, Tony. I just want to know where you at, man. These guys got to get you in the game plan. Michael Turner had a great game. Matt Ryan had an okay game. He's not looking like the Matt Ryan a few years ago. Kind of, it looks like he's kind of slowing down a little bit. Not saying he's taking a step back, but he isn't passing like he used to.
He isn't Matty Ice.
Yeah, but with Roddy White out, it's not really, that's your number one guy, so you're gonna miss him. On the other side of the ball, I don't know what's going on in Carolina. They just can't seem to get that win. And Cam Newton's playing great. They got D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart still is a great tandem in the backfield. Steve Smith's playing at a great level this year, but something's just not adding up over there. Maybe it's the defense just letting it slide away, or I don't know. But something's not adding up. They got to figure out what it is and fix it fast. Because Cam's not a happy guy when he loses. He may be happy when he scores a touchdown, but if he's continuing to lose games, he's not going to be a very very happy camper. He's going to be uncomfortable. So Carolina, you got to figure it out, man. You got to start squeezing out wins. And for the Falcons, they keep rolling. They wind up going to 3-3 on the season, and the Panthers fall to 1-5, bottom of the NFC South there. But the top of the NFC South is in a tight race anyway. So the Falcons aren't far behind. All they got to do is win the game, and they're right there in the tie. But it was a good game. Just Panthers got to figure it out because Cam Newton deserves better.
So staying in that tight NFC South, let's talk about the Saints and the Bucks. The Bucks beat the Saints 26-20 in a real close, real interesting game to watch. Drew Brees 29-45, 383 yards and a touchdown. Ingram had 9 carries for 22 yards and a touchdown, and Colston had 7 receptions, 118 yards and a touchdown. On the other side of the ball, Josh Freeman 23-41, 303 yards, 2 touchdowns. Graham had 17. He had 17 carries for 109 yards. Aurelius Ben 3 receptions, 83 yards and a touchdown, and Parker had 2 receptions, 32 yards, and a TD on the board. Talk about this game.
Another NFC South battle, as my partner said. Things look good over in Tampa Bay right now for them. They wound up, getting up there to 4-2, and the Saints fall to 4-2. Josh Freeman played really good in this game. It's a big bounce back from that beat down they took from the 49ers last week. And for the Saints, it wasn't a big loss, so it didn't really hurt them that bad. They're still tied with the Bucks for the lead over there in the NFC South. Just a great game on both sides of the ball. No to Garrett Blunt this week. He was out. He was only in street clothes. He wasn't dressed for playing. So hopefully they can get him back because he's a good running back and he'll get them a lot of production on the ground. Even though Ernest Graham picked it up and did very well. On the other side of the ball with the Saints, Drew Brees continued to do what he had to do. They just didn't put up enough points and didn't win the game. So it was a good game. No discount to either one of the guys. Just one won and one lost.
So the Bucks own the tiebreaker in that division right now at 4-2. The Saints right behind them at 4-2. The Falcons are in third at 3-3, and the Panthers are 1-5. All right, join us on part 3 where we wrap up the rest of the games. Thank you so much.